need me to tell you this, but I will anyway. Your life is not going to change unless you change. Some of you are stuck in routines that don't serve you, stuck in a mindset that keeps you playing small, stuck in a cycle of excuses that make you feel safe but leave you unfulfilled. And let me be real with you. If you don't make a move, life is going to move on without you. So why should you stay here and listen to me? Because deep down, you already know this. You've felt that discomfort in your gut, that voice telling you that you were made for more, but you've been too afraid to answer. You're not here by accident. Today, I'm going to show you exactly why change isn't just necessary, it's non-negotiable if you want the life you say you deserve. Let me know if you'd like me to expand the full speech. Rather, you know what the problem is? Too many people are comfortable, and comfort is the enemy of growth. Think about it. When was the last time you pushed yourself so hard that it scared you? For most of us, it's been too long. We stay in our little boxes, surrounded by the same routines, the same people, the same mindset, because it feels safe. But let me ask you this. Is it really safe? Or is it just slowly killing your dreams? Every single day, the world is changing around you. Technology is evolving, opportunities are shifting, and the competition is getting hungrier. But while the world is moving, are you moving? Or are you standing still, hoping things will somehow get better without putting in the work? Here's the truth. Comfort zones don't protect you. They trap you. And the longer you stay there, the harder it becomes to escape. And you need to understand that the pain of staying the same will always outweigh the pain of change. Look around at your life. If nothing changes, where will you be in 5 years? The same dead-end job, the same unhealthy habits, the same excuses. Or worse, falling even further behind because you refuse to adapt. The world doesn't wait for you to catch up. It moves on, with or without you. And if you don't step up, you'll wake up one day and realize that the life you wanted passed you by. This is your wake-up call. Stop clinging to what's comfortable because comfort is overrated. It's time to get uncomfortable. It's time to shake things up. I'm not here to sugarcoat it. Change is hard. It's messy, and it's going to test you in ways you've never been tested before. But the alternative? Staying stuck, wasting time, losing opportunities. And let me tell you, nothing is more painful than realizing you let your potential go to waste. You're not here to settle for mediocrity. You're not here to just get by. You're here to grow, to evolve, to become the person you were meant to be. But you'll never get there if you keep holding on to what's comfortable. So ask yourself, are you ready to let go? Are you ready to do what it takes to create the life you deserve? Because if you are, this is where your story changes. This is where you stop making excuses and start making moves. Let me tell you something that might sting a little. Staying the same is not just holding you back. It's dragging you down. You can't keep doing what you've always done and expect different results. The world doesn't work like that. If you're not growing, you're shrinking. If you're not adapting, you're falling behind. And if you're not actively chasing your potential, you're giving it up. Look around you. Everything is in motion. The world doesn't stop evolving, and neither should you. Technology, industries, relationships, and even your own body, they're all constantly changing. So why do we resist? Why do we cling to what feels familiar, even when it's not serving us anymore? The answer is simple. Fear. Fear of failure. Fear of rejection. Fear of the unknown. But let me tell you something. Staying in the same place isn't safe. It's risky. Because while you're standing still, the world is moving forward without you. Think about it. Every day you stay the same, you're missing opportunities. opportunities to grow, to learn, to become better, opportunities to live the life you keep dreaming about. How many times have you told yourself, I'll start tomorrow, or I'm not ready yet? Let me be real with you. There is no perfect time. There's only now. And every moment you waste waiting for the right time is a moment you'll never get back. The truth is, change is inevitable. You don't have a choice in that. What you do have a choice in is whether you're going to embrace it or let it bulldoze you. Life will force you to change eventually, through heartbreak, through failure, through loss. But wouldn't it be better to take control, to decide for yourself how you're going to grow instead of waiting for life to push you? This isn't about avoiding pain. It's about choosing the kind of pain that leads to growth instead of regret. It's the rare. Let me say this loud and clear. Transformation is not optional. If you want to win, if you want to grow, if you want to leave a mark on this world, you have to embrace the power of change. Here's the truth most people won't tell you. Staying the same doesn't just mean staying stuck. It means missing out on the life you're meant to live. It means leaving your potential untapped, your dreams unfulfilled, and your purpose unrealized. Change is the only path to success. There is no shortcut, no magic formula, no easy way out. Growth comes with challenges. It comes with sacrifices. It comes with moments where you feel like giving up. But every great story of success starts with someone who chose to embrace change instead of running from it. Whether it's stepping into a new career, breaking old habits, or redefining what you believe is possible, change is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you did something for the first time? When was the last time you stepped out of your comfort zone and took a risk on yourself? If you can't remember, that's a problem. Because the greatest breakthroughs in life don't happen when you play it safe. They happen when you're willing to bet on yourself, even when the odds feel stacked against you. Keep thinking about the jumps you took, the troubles you put yourself through. And here's the thing, transformation isn't a one-time event. It's a process. And it's ongoing. You don't just wake up one day and have it all figured out. You have to make the decision to change every single day. You have to show up for yourself, even when it's hard, even when it's inconvenient, and especially when it feels impossible. Because every small step you take, every uncomfortable decision you make is a brick in the foundation of the life you're building. But let me warn you, it won't come easy. People will doubt you. Your own mind will try to hold you back. There will be days when you question whether it's even worth it. And on those days, you have to remind yourself why you started. You have to remember that the pain of growth is temporary because God knows your true purpose will never forget it. But the regret of staying the same lasts forever. So commit to the process, commit to the grind, commit to becoming the best version of yourself. Because transformation isn't just a path to success, it's the price you have to pay for greatness. Let me ask you on Meth and Real, how long are you going to wait? How many more days, weeks, or even years are you going to keep telling yourself that someday you'll make a change? Let me tell you right now, someday is a lie. It's a trap. And the longer you cling to it, the harder it gets to break free. If you want something different in your life, you have to make a decision today to break the mold. Yeah? Think about it. Look at your life right now. Are you happy with where you are? Are you truly satisfied? Or are you just tolerating the life you've built? If the answer is anything less than a full, resounding yes, then it's time to stop settling. It's time to challenge yourself to step into the unknown, to break out of the patterns and habits that are holding you back, and to redefine what's possible for you Breaking the mold isn't easy, though. It means letting go of the excuses you've been hiding behind. It means pushing past the limits you've set for yourself and ignoring the voices that say you can't do it. Because the truth is, you can. You're stronger, smarter, and more capable than you give yourself credit for. But you'll never know what you're truly made of if you keep living the same way you always have. Here's the challenge I'm giving you today. I want you to look at your life and find one thing that you know needs to change. Maybe it's your job, your health, your relationships, or the way you talk to yourself. Whatever it is, make a commitment right now to take one step, just one, toward breaking that mold. Because once you take that first step, you'll realize it's not as scary as you thought. And then you'll take another and another. And before you know it, you'll have built a whole new version of yourself. This isn't just about change for the sake of change. This is about creating a life that feels aligned with your purpose, your passion, and your potential. But it starts with you. No one else can do it for you. So stop waiting for permission, stop waiting for the perfect time, and start breaking the mold today. The life you want is waiting on the other side of your decision. So what's it going to be? Same old or something new? The choice is yours. Let's talk about fear for a minute. The fear that keeps you from making a move. The fear that whispers, what if you fail? What if you're not good enough? What if you lose everything? That fear is real and it's powerful. But let me tell you something even more real. Fear isn't your enemy. It's the compass pointing you toward what matters most. The problem isn't fear itself. It's letting that fear paralyze you. Think about this. How often have you let fear stop you from doing something you knew could change your life? How many opportunities have you passed up because you were too afraid to take the leap? Fear has a way of magnifying the risks and shrinking the rewards. It convinces you to stay where it's safe, where it's comfortable. But the truth is, the comfort zone isn't safe. It's a trap. It's where dreams go to die, one excuse at a time. Here's what you need to understand. The only way to beat fear is to face it. Every single person you admire, every success story you've ever heard started with someone who was scared out of their mind, but they moved anyway. They took the first step, even though they weren't sure where it would lead. They leaned into the discomfort because they knew that staying stuck was far worse than the fear of failing. Let me be real with you. Fear doesn't go away. It's always going to be there, especially when you're chasing something big. But you don't have to let it control you. Instead, use it. Let it fuel your fire. Let it remind you that you're stepping into something bigger than yourself. Fear is a sign that you're growing, that you're pushing past your limits. And on the other side of that fear is everything you've been waiting for. So here's what I want you to do. Stop running from fear and start running toward it. The next time you feel it creeping in, don't back down. Look it in the eye and say, I'm coming for what's mine. Because the life you want isn't going to come easy. And it isn't going to come without a fight. But if you're willing to push through the fear, to take action even when your heart is pounding and your hands are shaking, you'll discover strength you never knew you had. And that strength, that's how you change your life. Let me tell you something. Your habits are either working for you or against you. There's no in between. The small things you do every single day, they're shaping your life in ways you don't even realize. The way you spend your mornings, the choices you make when nobody's watching, the thoughts you allow to live rent-free in your mind, those are the building blocks of your future. So let me ask you, what are your habits building? Most people don't fail because of one big mistake. They fail because of a series of small decisions they didn't think mattered. To skipping the gym today, scrolling for hours instead of working on your goals, hitting snooze one more time, it all adds up. And before you know it, those small choices become big regrets. The truth is, your habits are like a mirror reflecting your priorities. What does that reflection look like right now? But here's the good news. Just as bad habits can tear you down, good habits can build you up. The key is realizing that you're in control. You're not stuck by the habits you have now. You're not defined by your past. Every day is a new chance to choose differently. It's about making the decision to be intentional with your time, your energy, and your focus. Because success isn't something you stumble into, it's something you build, one habit at a time. Now, don't get it twisted. Building better habits doesn't mean you have to overhaul your entire life overnight. It starts small. It starts with showing up for yourself in the little moments. One extra push-up, one healthier meal, one more hour spent working on your craft instead of wasting time. Those small actions done consistently create momentum. And once you build momentum, it's hard to stop. So here's the challenge. Take a hard look at your habits. Be honest about the ones that are holding you back and make a commitment to replace them with ones that move you forward. It won't be easy. You have to fight against old patterns, and some days you'll want to quit. But remember this, every time you choose discipline over convenience, every time you show up for yourself instead of giving in, you're casting a vote for the person you want to become. And with enough votes, you'll turn that vision into reality. Let's talk about accountability. If you want real change in your life, you have to own it. Completely, unapologetically, no excuses. The life you're living right now is a reflection of the choices you've made. And I know that might sting. It's easy to blame other people, circumstances, or bad luck. But here's the truth. Nobody is coming to save you. If you want different results, you've got to take responsibility for where you are and where you're going. Self-awareness is the first step. You have to get real with yourself about what's working and what isn't. Look at your habits, your mindset, your relationships, your goals. Are they aligned with the life you say you want, or are they keeping you stuck? Accountability means having the courage to face those answers. Even when they're uncomfortable, it means admitting where you've been slacking, where you've been playing small, and where you've let fear or laziness win. But accountability isn't just about identifying the problem. It's about committing to the solution. It's about deciding right here and now that you're going to show up for yourself no matter what. No more blaming, no more complaining, no more waiting for someone else to fix it. You are the CEO of your life, and it's time to start running it like the business of success that it is. Here's the thing. Accountability is tough because it forces you to hold yourself to a higher standard. You can't make excuses. You can't cut corners. You can't hide from the truth. But that's exactly what makes it so powerful. When you stop looking for someone else to take the fall and start owning your journey, you take back control. You shift from being a victim of your circumstances to being the creator of your future. And let me tell you something. Accountability isn't just about the grind. It's also about celebrating your wins, no matter how small. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, every time you follow through, you're building trust in your ability to succeed. And that trust is what will carry you through the hard days, the setbacks, and the moments when quitting feels easier. So make a promise to yourself today. No more excuses, no more waiting, no more hoping. Take accountability and take charge of your life. Let me remind you of something you might have forgotten. You're capable of so much more than you think. But the problem is, most of us never tap into that potential because we settle for average. We accept the limits that life, or worse, we ourselves place on us. But what if I told you that the only thing standing between you and greatness is your willingness to go after it? There's this idea we carry around, this lie that we've reached our limit, that we've done all we can do. But here's the truth. You haven't even scratched the surface. Your potential is like a muscle. It grows with use. The more you challenge yourself, the more you discover what you're truly capable of. And let me tell you, the results will shock you. Think about a time when you pushed yourself beyond what you thought you could handle. Maybe it was a hard workout, a tough project, or stepping up when everything seemed stacked against you. In that moment, you found strength you didn't know you had. That strength didn't come from magic. It came from you. It came from your willingness to keep going when others would have quit. That's what untapped potential looks like. And guess what? There's more where that came from. But here's the catch. Potential doesn't just show up on its own. You have to call it out. You have to challenge yourself daily. You have to set goals so big they scare you, and then chase them with everything you've got. And when the voice in your head says, you can't do this, you push back harder, because that voice, it's not your truth, it's your fear talking. And fear doesn't get to run the show anymore. So today I want you to make a decision. Stop settling for good enough. Stop telling yourself that where you are is as far as you can go, because deep down, you know there's more inside you. There's a stronger, smarter, more determined version of you waiting to come out. And the only way to unlock that version is to step into the fire, to push past the pain, and to demand more from yourself than you ever have before. Your potential is limitless, but only if you're willing to reach for it. And in mind, let's talk about one of the biggest lies we tell ourselves. I'll start tomorrow. How many times have you said that? How many dreams, goals, and opportunities have you pushed off to someday, only to find that someday never comes? Here's the hard truth. There's no magic in tomorrow. The only moment you truly have is right now. And every time you delay, you're robbing yourself of the future you could be building today. Procrastination is a dream killer, plain and simple. It disguises itself as harmless. I'll get to it later. I need to feel ready first. But the reality is, the longer you wait, the harder it gets. Every time you choose comfort over action, you're building a habit of hesitation. And that hesitation doesn't just cost you time. It costs you momentum, confidence, and progress. Think about it. How many opportunities have you missed because you didn't act? How many times have you looked back and thought, if only I had started back then, I'd be so much further ahead now? That regret doesn't come from failing. It comes from never trying in the first place. And let me tell you, there's no worse feeling than wondering what could have been if you just taken that first step. But here's the good news. You can break the cycle. You can decide right now that today is the day you stop waiting. Not next week, not when you feel more prepared, but today. Because starting isn't about being ready, it's about being willing. Willing to show up, to take imperfect action, and to embrace the process. It's not about getting it right the first time. It's about getting started and figuring it out as you go. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one thing you've been putting off and take action on it today. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be big, but it has to be now. Because every step you take, no matter how small, moves you closer to the life you want. And if you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you'll spend your entire life waiting. The time to start is now. Not tomorrow, not later, now. So, what are you waiting for? This is the final truth you need to hear. The only person who can stop you is you. You've heard all the reasons why you can't change, why you can't succeed. Maybe it's your past. Maybe it's your circumstances. Maybe it's fear. But I'm telling you right now, those are just excuses. Every single one of them. You're not limited by anything except the limits you place on yourself. Look, we've all got baggage. We all have things in our past that could hold us back if we let them. But your past does not have to define your future. What matters is what you do today. Every choice you make, every action you take, shapes the person you're becoming. And if you keep waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect set of circumstances, you'll never get there. The truth is, there will never be a right time. There will never be a moment when everything aligns perfectly. Life doesn't work that way. But what life does give you is right now. The opportunity to decide, the chance to take action, and the ability to change course at any time. So stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the stars to align. The time to go after your dreams, to step into your potential, to live the life you've been meant to live, it's now. You want to know the difference between people who succeed and those who don't? It's not talent. It's not luck. It's perseverance. It's the willingness to get up when life knocks you down, to keep going when it feels impossible, and to believe in yourself even when nobody else does. If you can do that, nothing can stop you. So let this be your call to action. Stop making excuses. Stop letting fear control you. Stop holding yourself back. You've got everything you need right inside you. Strength, resilience, power, potential. It's time to unleash it. It's time to change. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. And if you're willing to put in the work, to push through the doubts, and to never give up on yourself, I promise you, your future will be nothing short of extraordinary.